नमस्ते। आई एम सुशांत दिवगीकर AKA रानी कोहिनूर और मैं एक इंसान हूँ। चौंक गए ना? But why? Why are you so surprised? Because whenever you see a transgender person, you always judge them based on their gender or their orientation. ये trans है, ये gay है, ये है, ये वो है. So मैं इंसान हूँ, पहली बात. और उसके बाद मैं बहुत सारी चीजें हूँ.
She fell, she fought, and in the end, she emerged victorious. This is the woman of today, and she is made of steel. Come and watch how she slays.
Well, thankfully for me, my coming out story was not as traumatic or it wasn't difficult for me because my parents are lovely. They accepted me, they love me unconditionally, regardless of my gender or my orientation. Uh, the tougher part was the conflict within myself, and that took me a very long time to get over. Um, but once I realized who I am and what I am, I think I'm living my best life, and I hope that every transgender person around the world can feel comfortable within themselves and also are loved by their near and dear ones dearly. My friends and family have always been very, very supportive, as I just mentioned. In fact, my friends, when I came out to my friends first in college, um, they told me that we are not your friends because you're straight or you're gay or you're transgender or because of your gender or orientation or where you come from, what you do. We are your friends because you're a nice friend to us. And I think that that was very beautiful for them when they were also 17 or 18. Um, I think today, in today's day and age, we have to give credit to the new generation because they're so much more informed, they're so much more empathetic because of information that is easily available to them. So I wish we had that when we were growing up because I think I was not very comfortable with myself back in college as much as I am today is because I was scared as to how society will react to me. Therefore, I could not live my best life back then. And for a very long time, I was closeted. But thankfully, I have wonderful friends and my family, including my brother, my sister-in-law, my cousins, my uncles, aunt. Nobody really questioned me because I realized that when my family was with me, when my parents stood behind me like my rocks, I don't think anybody could have harmed me at all. And I'm just so blessed and thankful to be born to the parents that I am. Yes, people from the community definitely face a lot of discrimination and bullying, whether they are in college, in school, at their workplace, even when they're established. I have been an artist for 16 years now, I've been part of the entertainment industry. And even today, I am bullied, I'm discriminated, I am looked at as a transgender person first and then an artist later. But that's not the case with my male and female, counterparts or my heterosexual counterparts. And I think that things need to change, and I think an artist should be looked at as an artist first and everything else later. Because art is art, art has no boundaries, and I perpetuate this saying with the work that I do, and I hope to change people's mind with my art. I absolutely believe that the community, LGBTQIA plus community, is very misunderstood. The problem is that by calling it and segregating it as a community in the first place is something that is wrong because we are all human first and everything else later. So, because we have been categorized due to our gender and our orientation and kept away from mainstream society is why people have misconceptions and have misunderstood the community. I think when you break it down and teach your children and teach our children, or when we were children, if we were taught also, at the end of the day, all of us have gone through life, first starting with the first institution as family, then school, then the workplace. And I think that every point of life, at every point of life, if we were taught that respect people regardless of their gender orientation, caste, creed, where they come from, what work they do, if we just didn't judge people and we just understood and respected people, I think that would have really changed the game. But yes, people are misunderstood, and it's heavily to do with how transgender people are shown in films, on television, in mainstream media. For a very long time, when we were growing up, transgender people were given very, or transgender people, no, transgender roles and characters in films and mainstream media were very derogatory. They were only made to look like they can beg or they can indulge in prostitution. These are the only two options. And I think that those roles were also never played by trans people. So it was always made fun of. People abused the trans community. They made fun of them, bullied them, harassed them, molested, raped them in films, and it was considered okay and normal, as if we don't have families, as if we didn't have a life. I think things need to change, and there are a lot of films that today's filmmakers and writers are writing that normalize transgenders. The only problem I have is that take a chance on transgender actors to play these roles because they will look more authentic. That's all I have to say. When I decided to embrace my true authentic self, which is a transgender person, I'm a gender fluid transgender person, a lot of people asked me, why aren't you undergoing surgery? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you changing your name? Why are you still calling yourself Sushant? Well, I said, what's in a name? We all hear this. नाम में क्या है? आप इंसान या आर्टिस्ट का काम देखिए, या फिर आप पहले इंसान को इंसान के तौर पे देखिए. ट्रांसजेंडर लोगों को इंसान के तौर पे देखा ही नहीं जाता. They are looked as below humans, subhumans. So I think that when we change our way of looking at someone, I can call myself Sushant, Rosie, Rita, Prateek, anybody. I can call anything. I can call myself anyone. How does it matter? But the way you look at me is only flawed. And I just think that I'm also somebody's child, I'm also somebody's friend, I'm also somebody's co-worker. And I'm a very productive member of the society. I just want to be remembered as somebody who contributed to the arts and to the society, not just by my gender. So I think that was a little difficult for me when people used to ask me such questions. How you should alter your body, you should get surgery done. We'd speak against surgery, and people used to actually tell me, oh, to look more feminine, you should do surgery. And I was like, but I don't want to look masculine or feminine because I'm not male or female. I'm transgender and I'm very happy with this body. I'm very happy with the person I am. Not to say that there trans people who undergo surgery are not normal. That is their life. They like their body to look a certain way, they can go ahead. But I don't want to do it. So initially, it really hurt me. But now I just think that it's not my fault. It's probably their lack of understanding and knowledge, or they have been conditioned to believe that trans people are only like this, they are only like this. I think people are so diverse. इतने तरह तरह के लोग हैं. अगर आप कहोगे कि नहीं नहीं ये औरत है तो इसको ऐसे ही लगना चाहिए, ये मर्द है तो इसको ऐसे ही करना चाहिए. ये भिन्न भिन्न प्रकार के मर्द भी हैं, औरत भी हैं, हिजड़े भी हैं, ट्रांसजेंडर भी हैं, सब किस्म के लोग हैं. And I think everybody should be given the right to live the way they want. Well, I'm a drag queen, yes. I will not say I'm the queen of drag. That sounds very cocky. But yes, I'm a drag performer. A lot of people think that ये क्या drag करके रखा है, ये तो हमारे इंडियन हिस्ट्री में नहीं है, ये हमारे कल्चर में नहीं है. तो आप लोगों को हम कह ही देते हैं आज कि ड्रैग हैज बीन पार्ट ऑफ अ कल्चर since the beginning of time. Since the beginning of time, you will see people that have been doing drag in the king's courts, in the palaces. Even our gods did drag. So I think that it is very wrong of us to say that in our culture people didn't do drag, because men used to perform as women characters, females used to perform as male characters, and there used to be transgender people who used to perform as both male and female characters in our history. So आप कौन से कल्चर की बात कर रहे हैं ये हमें नहीं पता, क्योंकि हमारे इंडियन कल्चर में, भारतीय संस्कृति में हमारे लिए बहुत इनफैक्ट एज अ कलाकार, एज आर्टिस्ट हमारा औहदा बहुत ऊंचा था. आपने उधर से निकाल के हमें रस्तों पे फेंका है. सो ड्रैग इज अ परफॉर्मेंस आर्ट. एनीबडी कैन डू ड्रैग, whether you're male, female, transgender, everyone can do drag. It's performance art. और इसके आगे अगर आपको कुछ सीखना है तो मेरा एक पॉडकास्ट है which is called Such a Drag, and you can go and have a listen. You'll love it because आपको बहुत सारी चीज़ों का के बारे में जानकारी मिलेगी about drag and how it's relevant in Indian culture. या तो फिर गूगल तो है ही, गूगल कर लो. I don't think Rani and Sushant are very different, but at the same time, I'll tell you, Sushant is a little more reserved. Sushant is a little more shy. Rani is a queen. She is a slay queen, So that's why Namaste slay and not Namaste, because Rani always slays. And Sushant is learning a little from her. From my stage character, I'm incorporating a lot of things into my real life. Because I think that you need to be unabashed, you need to be strong with your opinions, and you have to fight for your rights. I just want people to know that yes, there are a lot of people that are voiceless and they are subdued because of their gender orientation, caste, color, weight, height. We discriminate against everybody based on everything. So yes, those people might not have a voice because they're so nervous, and so that is my duty to kind of represent their voices, and through my art, through interviews like this, I represent all of their voices, and I just want to say that live and let live, and love and let love. Yes, it's true that I won Mr. Gay India World, and I represented India at the Mr. Gay World pageant in 2014 in Rome, in Italy. Well, back then I identified as a gay man, क्योंकि मुझे पता नहीं था कि यही तो होता है ना, education ही नहीं थी. I didn't know I was transgender, so I lived as a man. I said ठीक है, अब क्या करें, पता नहीं, people might think that I didn't know I was transgender, तो लोगों को कैसे पता चले. So I participated even as a man. I won awards for my country. Even today, I represented my country very recently in an international television show, and I was in the top 4 best drag queens in the world, singing drag queens in the world. बहुत मुझे अच्छा लगता है कि अपने देश के लिए हम एक अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्तर पे जाके पुरस्कार जीत के आते हैं. बट बहुत बुरा इसका भी लगता है कि जब हम वापस आते हैं ये इतने सारे अवार्ड्स लेके हमारे लिए नहीं, देश के लिए, तब लोग हमें नीचा दिखाते हैं. इस वजह से नहीं क्योंकि हम टैलेंटेड नहीं हैं या कुछ, इट्स बिकॉज ऑफ आवर जेंडर. हमें कहते हैं कि यार ये क्या ट्रांसजेंडर, ये क्या गे, ये क्या ये. अरे बट अवार्ड तो अवार्ड होता है, एंड इट्स एन इंटरनेशनल अवार्ड. Unfortunately, it's the case. Back then also, 9 years back, it was the case. Even today, I see that a lot of people discriminate only on the basis of gender. I think this needs to change, and everybody must understand that your life is a journey. It's not a destination. हर दिन आप कुछ नया सीखोगे अपने बारे में, दूसरों के बारे में, about things, about situations. So हम भी सीखते हैं, हम भी गलतियाँ करते हैं. ऐसा नहीं है कि हम कोई देवता है या कुछ. देवताओं ने भी गलतियाँ की हैं, उनको भी माफ़ किया गया. So the thing is that जब हमारे साथ गलतियाँ होती हैं हम भी बहुत माफ़ करते हैं. बट आई थिंक दैट अभी टाइम आया है कि आप थोड़ी अपनी जो जो अब आपका नज़रिया है हमें देखने का, वो थोड़ा बदल लेंगे तो बस हम और क्या ही मांगे. So if you want to participate in Mr. K India and represent India at the World Pageant, there are three criteria. You need to be above the age of 18, you need to have a valid Indian passport, and you have to be openly gay. Yes, a lot of people ask me कि आप अभी भी ट्रांसजेंडर होने के बाद भी आप मिस्टर गे इंडिया को मैनेज करते हैं, प्रोड्यूस करते हैं. क्यों नहीं? क्योंकि मैंने अपने करियर में ये देखा है कि लोग जब एक मकाम पे पहुंचते हैं तब दूसरों की मदद करने में इतराते हैं, शर्माते हैं या घबराते हैं, या पता नहीं उनका शरीर पूरा डगमगा सा जाता है क्योंकि उनको लगता है कि नहीं हम अपना देखेंगे, वो अपना देख लें. तो मुझे नहीं लगता ऐसा होना चाहिए. सो व्हेन आई केम बैक, व्हेन आई वन एंड आई केम बैक, आई सेड दैट अगले साल से हम जो बच्चे हैं, जो यंग टैलेंटेड, जो हमारे गे यूथ है हमारे कंट्री की, उनको एम्पावर करना चाहिए, उनको सिखाना चाहिए, उनको ट्रैवल करवाना चाहिए. एंड फॉर देम टू रिप्रेजेंट इंडिया इज़ अ वेरी बिग डील. And I have my team, I'll have to give my credit to my team, definitely have worked so hard in bringing up young talent from the LGBT community and sending them abroad. And unfortunately, it wasn't spoken about so much. So I'm thankful to you for asking me this question, so that all of these people, everybody from 2015 to 2021 has made it to the top 10 in the world. Every Mr. Gay India, including me. Then after me there was Anvesh Sahu, Darshan Mandhana, there was Samarpan Mehti, there was Suresh Ramdas, there was Sham KoHEnur, there was all of these wonderful, wonderful boys have made our country proud. And I think that everybody has something to offer to the world, and this pageant allows you to do that. We don't discriminate on your height, on your weight, on your color, on your age. There's no restriction. It's just how you have to be above 18. And I think that this is a very beautiful, very diverse and inclusive contest. It's more a contest on how you will be a good representative than a beauty contest. So, yeah. Yes, I was on Big Boss season 8. I was a 23-year-old, very innocent boy back then. I didn't know how to play the game. मुझे ये सब politics से हम दूर ही रहते थे, तो शायद इस वजह से 2 महीने ही रुक पाए उस घर में. But I made some wonderful friends. I won all the tasks that I was part of, except one. And I think that's the one that got me nominated and eliminated. मुझे लगता है Big Boss ने बोला होगा अगर इनको रखेंगे घर पे तो इनको तो नॉमिनेट कोई करेगा नहीं, तो हम ही निकाल देते हैं. That's what I think happened. But yeah, I played the game with my dignity, integrity. In fact, I was speaking to some of my friends who have been winners of this show, and they were telling me, "Arey, you should go on the OTT version of Big Boss." And I was just like, yeah, it makes sense because back then I was Sushant, and as a gay man, now I'm a trans person and I do drag as Rani KoHEnur. So I think काफी entertaining रहेगा. But let's see. I had fun when I did Big Boss. I had a lot of fun. Well, I idolize strong, independent, self-made women, and every transgender person who is out of the closet, in the closet, not yet ready to come out of the closet and accept themselves. Even them I respect, because I have been there, and I idolize each one of them, and especially the strong female characters, because when we were growing up, there was a change that Rekha ji made. Rekha ji really did some amazing films. When I was growing up, I saw them, and she really challenged the norm that only male actors can play strong characters. And उन्होंने 2-3 ऐसे फिल्में चलाई हैं अपने आप, उनको हीरो की ज़रूरत ही नहीं थी, वो हीरोइन ही काफ़ी थी. So I think that I looked at her, especially. I looked at people from abroad. If you go to see, I looked at Princess Diana, Oprah Winfrey, Ellen DeGeneres, हमारे देश से इंदिरा गांधी जी, and very recently I absolutely love Priyanka Chopra. Kangana is a very strong voice. Deepika is there. Vidya Balan. You know, all of these actors and strong leaders, I would say, more than anything. And also, I recently met Taapsee. Taapsee is such a diva. I love her energy. Self-made, again, strong, you know, and doing very well. God bless her. Yeah, I think that every time I think about this question, and it started for me from home because my mother is the strongest inspiration in my life. She's the strongest idol, so I idolize her the most. बट उनके अलावा भी ये जो स्ट्रॉन्ग महिलाएं हैं हमारे देश की या फिर किसी भी देश की जो जेंडर स्टीरियोटाइप्स को चैलेंज करती हैं, बैरियर्स को ब्रेक करती हैं, ये मेरे लिए आइडल है. Oh, thank you for calling me fit and fab. I just think that I have realized what works for my body, and I do that. I exercise, I do yoga, I am a national level swimmer, so आजकल तो इतना ज़्यादा स्विमिंग नहीं होता, but तैर लेते हैं कभी कभी. But I definitely have a skincare routine, and you know, I make sure I know what is going into my body. I also do intermittent fasting. I watch what I eat. One daily routine that I cannot live without is I always try and do better than what I did yesterday. So if I did 10 push-ups yesterday, I will try and do 11. So I would just like to request all of you watching this, please share it as much as possible, because first, we all are humans and everything else later.